More than 70,000 people, some of them from Northwest Ohio, crammed into Ford Field in Detroit on February 22, 2020. They were there to listen to country superstar Garth Brooks. None of them knew how much their lives were about to change.
When they first thought my dad may have had the symptoms of COVID, we thought, how does Mick Wagoner from Toledo, Ohio come down with a virus from China?
On March 18, 2020, Mark Wagoner, known as Mick, a well-known Toledo lawyer, became the first Ohioan to die from COVID-19.
He was a great guy. I mean, he was one of the most giving, big-hearted guys you've ever known. He was funny.
As one family mourned, Toledo, Ohio, and the country plunged into a period of uncertainty.
The virus is here. It lives among us.
The urgency of the crisis at hand was hammered home in a call between Governor Mike DeWine and Ohio's big city mayors, including Toledo Mayor Wade Kapsakavage. The governor told the mayors that they were now at war with an unseen enemy.
He spoke in very stark terms, very serious terms. I remember him saying that we might soon see things in this country that resembled third world countries. That, to me, was the moment where I sat up and said, oh my goodness, this is a little worse than I thought it was.
On March 22nd, the state took a step it had never taken before.
Dr. Acton just signed a stay-at-home order for all Ohioans.
On March 9th, Ohio Governor Mike DeWine announced the first 3 cases of COVID-19 in the state of Ohio. At that point, the streets of Toledo were busy, but by the end of March, the city was almost a ghost town. Store shelves emptied, families wondered what was to come. Before the state even realized that the virus's primary target was the elderly, it had decimated Ohio's nursing homes.
Don't send your family members there. If you want them to survive, just don't send your family members there.
But there was another easy target for the virus, the state's prisons.
They just told me I just tested positive for that coronavirus on my way out the door.
I watched a man fall down, break his teeth, and they came in and just let him go. And he fell down multiple times, and he couldn't eat hard food. They told him to drink water.
144 staff and prisoners have died in state prisons. More than 11,600 have been sickened by the dreaded virus. For thousands and thousands of other Ohioans, they struggled with the fear and the uncertainty that came with a positive diagnosis.
It's not the flu. My head hurt, my hair hurt. I can't even express enough to people. Take this seriously.
By the beginning of March 2021, the coronavirus had infected 115 million people around the world. 2.5 million died from COVID-19. Nearly 1 million Ohioans tested positive. More than 17,000 died. But during one of the world's darkest periods, science shined brightly. After China released the virus's genetic sequence early last year, scientists went to work on defeating it. Within 9 months of the virus spreading to the United States, Pfizer and Moderna had produced the first vaccines approved for use by the FDA. Utilizing messenger RNA technology, the vaccine tricked the body into producing the spike protein that gives coronavirus its name. The body then learns how to defend against that protein to prevent COVID-19 infection. By mid-December, the Pfizer vaccines were being flown out of Grand Rapids. And early this month, a third vaccine, Johnson & Johnson, began rolling out of Kentucky. By February, case numbers and hospitalizations were in a free fall. Cases and deaths in nursing homes almost came to a complete stop. Ohioans and Americans held their breath, wondering if it was possible to begin dreaming of normalcy.
But I can envision a summer with no masks or limited masks, where we're going to Mud Hens games, we're getting ready to see the Walleye, the Downtown Concert Series, the Marathon Classic, the Solheim Cup.
While some plan their future memories, others draw on remembrances of family and friends who are no longer with them.
And somehow we got on the topic about who was faster,
In his Toledo law office, Mark Wagoner smiles as he recalls the trip to Florida as a 14-year-old. A cocky athlete, he challenged his chain-smoking 47-year-old lawyer dad to a race.
He beat me by a stride. So after that, he went back, sat down, had a smile, didn't really say much after that, but would never race me again. And I think it's that great moment that just when you think you might have a step on your dad, you find out your dad has a step on you.
It's been about a year since Mick Wagoner died of COVID-19. Since that time, about 650 other Lucas County residents have died from this horrible disease. Many people in our community have just been devastated. But there are signs that Toledo is returning to normal. In fact, the Mud Hens will return here to Fifth Third Field in May to open up their season. It's been a really uncertain time for all of us, but one thing we can be completely certain about: none of us will ever forget these past 12 months. Reporting in Toledo for WTUL 11, this is Brian Duggar.